Hello everybody. Hope you can hear me. I have my earbuds in. Welcome. Happy Valentine's Day. Happy Friday. I've got my love shirt on, welcoming Valentine's Day. Hope everybody's having a great day so far. It is 11 a.m. Eastern Time. And welcome to Gut Goodies, and we're going to be talking about the TLC your gut needs for whole body health. I have some notes on the side over here, so if I'm like glazing off, that's why. I just want to stay on track because I value your time and I don't want to hold you up too long. So anyway, this series is all about habits that support a healthy gut and in turn support a healthy full body. It's a 10-week series, so I will be here every Friday going live for you as we dive into different habits that you can maybe shift or just pay more attention to give yourself extra TLC for your gut and for your whole body. So most of you know who I am. My name's Dana, and I'm a lifestyle coach, and I focus on the whole body through habit change and transformational coaching. I'm a habit change coach at my core. That's my original training, but I'm also training in transformational coaching and mastery coaching. So as you come in, just kind of say, hi, and maybe drop some hearts since it's Valentine's Day, and let me know where you're tuning in from. And just so you know, future lives will be on YouTube. I've started a YouTube channel. I posted my URL, my link the other day, but I will put it in the comments so that everybody can tune into that on YouTube Live. Should be able to do next week. I had to be eligible to do lives. So today what we're going to talk about is the importance of gut health and what the heck gut health is, because I know that that's like a widespread kind of concept that's talked about a lot. So we're just going to kind of get really simple, what is gut health and what's the importance of it. We're also going to be talking about the signs and symptoms of an unhealthy gut, because you might be surprised that there's some that aren't directly connected. And then we're going to dive into our first habit, which I will tell you about later on. So this might be a longer video, we'll see, since we're going to be talking about some other things besides just the habit. If that sounds good and you're ready to rock and roll, let's start. And if you know anybody that might benefit from this series, you know what it's all about. It's all about the gut. It's all about the whole body. Tag them, share this video with whomever you feel might benefit. And the great thing is that gut health is universal. So anybody really could benefit from this kind of information. And, children, women, men, like everybody has a gut. So we all need a healthy gut, right? Like we all need to know how to keep it healthy so that we can live long, healthy lives. And that's really my goal as a coach, is to help everybody live long, happy lives in their minds and in their bodies through their gut. So let's go ahead and start. So what is gut health? Simply said, it's the balance of the microorganisms in our digestive tract. So we have bacteria, we have yeast, we have fungi, we even have viruses that, I don't know if you've heard of the word flora, like healthy flora. That's what we're talking about. And all these microorganisms live in our digestive tract, live in our microbiome, which is another word you might have heard of. So it's the balance of all of those things. So if something is off balance, because we know that some flora is good and some flora is bad. So keeping these in balance, that's the key word here. So with that being said, the key word being balance, so it's important to keep it in a healthy balance of these good and bad flora. It allows for easier digestion. Maybe some of you have, acid reflux, or you just feel, bloated sometimes. Like that can be a sign of digestion. So it also allows for hormone production, because a lot of hormones get produced in our gut. I believe 90% of serotonin gets produced in our gut. I can't talk today. And our immunity comes from there. So having this balance of our flora is really, really, really important for just keeping everything moving how it's supposed to. I mean, it's called a digestive tract for a reason. It's a tract. Like, if you look at the, images of our gut, you can see it's a tight tract. So keeping everything in balance is just super, super, super important for, like I said, digestion, hormone production, overall immunity, and overall health. So I hope that makes sense. It's kind of science-y, and I didn't want to get too much like a science teacher. So if there's any questions on that, or if you want a further explanation and you don't want to talk to Dr. Google, feel free to pop any questions in the comments or PM me directly, whatever suits your fancy. So, unhealthy gut, unhealthy balance. How do you know when that's happening? So there's a lot of obvious symptoms, which of course comes from your gut. So pain, upset stomach, bloating, gas, unintentional weight gain or unintentional weight loss. All those kinds of things that generally come from your gut. So even things like acid reflux, that is a gut symptom. And then there's less obvious symptoms like cold or flu symptoms. If you have a cough or, excessive watery eyes, like things that you might think are allergies or like a sinus infection, like things like that. So cold and flu symptoms can be a sign, of unhealthy gut. And things like sleep disturbance, chronic fatigue, skin irritation like acne or rosacea. Like, our skin is our biggest organ, so when our gut is unhappy and it's trying to push things out, sometimes it can come through our skin, causing skin irritation, acne, those kinds of things. Other symptoms are like food intolerance and autoimmune disease. Like if you went to the doctor and you got diagnosed with an autoimmune disease, that is from your gut. Your gut is really triggering that response, and that's where that diagnosis came from. So I hope this makes sense, because like I said, it's kind of a lot of information. So please ask any questions, and feel free just to pop whatever you want in the comments. If you're experiencing any of that and you want to talk to me more, then we certainly can do that too. So I'll give you an example from my personal journey. I had a cough for like weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks on end, like super annoying, one of those ones that just like tickles in your throat, and you're like, every time you talk, every time you breathe, like you cough, and it's really, really annoying. So I had this cough that didn't come with any other symptoms. Like, I didn't have any other flu symptoms, no stuffy nose, no fever, like nothing. Went to the regular doctor, and they couldn't help me. So I went to my holistic doctor, and he does the muscle testing. I don't know if any of you are familiar with that, but basically he does a testing with your muscles, and he'll ask certain questions. And I don't know the full science, but so he'll ask certain questions for your body, and I guess he's looking for a muscle response. And for me, he wasn't getting anything viral, nothing bacterial, and he was like, doing all these tests, and he was like, you know what, we're going to check for food intolerance. I was like, oh, okay. I'm 20 years old. I don't really know what food intolerance means. So I was like, all right. So after he did that, I guess he noticed something, and he said, I think you might have an intolerance. Like, cut out dairy, wheat, and sugar for 3 weeks and see how you feel. Now, I've known this doctor for like years and years and years, like since I was a baby. So I trusted him. And I didn't get like scared or nervous or anything like that. I was just like, okay, because a part of me was like, yes, like I just want to get rid of this cough. Like I'll do absolutely anything. So I left his office, I went home, and I tore apart my kitchen and got rid of everything that looked like visually, like to me this is like was a visual thing, because I wasn't reading labels at that point, so I didn't know what other things had wheat, dairy, and sugar in it. But I took out everything in my fridge and everything in my pantry that was, pasta, bread, crackers, if I had milk or yogurt, and then sugary things like, cookies, any kind of baked goods, even like sugar in itself, which I didn't really do that anyway, but besides the point. So I eliminated all of that, and within like 72 hours, I want to say, for one, my cough was gone, which was fantastic. Like I was so happy, but also I was just feeling better in my body. Like I wasn't severely bloated like I usually am. I was sleeping better. And again, this is after 72 hours, like super duper quick. And I was like starting to lose weight, like in my face, really quickly. Like my energy was perked up. Like there were a lot of other benefits to cutting those things out besides just losing the cough. So it was really quite fascinating, to be honest with you. And it was something that I thought was like a cold or a virus, or maybe even a sinus or allergy issue, when it was actually a sign that my gut was unbalanced. So from that, I'm 28, so it's been almost 9 years that I've personally lived a whole foods, gluten-free, dairy-free, artificial sugar-free lifestyle. And we're going to get into diet and food later on in the series, but I just wanted to give you an example that wasn't directly related to the gut. Because really, if you think of your throat and, like a cough, like you wouldn't directly link that to your gut. So some of you know that story, like I tell that story a lot. So if you have anybody has any questions on that, just let me know. And, I just want to check in, make sure that everybody's good with all of that. So, as I mentioned before, we're going to be talking about several habits to support our gut and our overall body. So, we're going to just dive into the first one now that we've covered a little bit of the science and a little bit about our gut and how important it actually is. So, this habit you might be surprised with, and that is self-love. You heard me, self-love. In honor of Valentine's Day, I figured this would be a great place to start because it's really, really, really important. So in society, we hear self-love and self-care like all the time. And, that it's the basis of everything. Once you take care of yourself, you can take care of everybody else and all of that. And it might seem like a fad and just like, like the cool thing to do, but really it's the coolest thing to do. And it's really, really helpful. And self-love and self-care are actually really, really different. Like they go hand in hand, they're sisters, but they're very, very different. So self-love is literally loving yourself unapologetically, unconditionally, head to toe, inside out, backwards, just as you are. Simple as that. It's so simple. But us as humans and us as women especially, we tend to get hard on ourselves and we tell ourselves these stories that are just really negative. And so that's why self-love is so important for our gut, because the words that we tell ourselves in here, they're not only digested up here, but they're digested down here. We call this the brain-gut axis. A little more science for you, sorry, but it's important. So our brain-gut axis is in constant communication with each other. So like this is our first brain, this is our second brain. First brain, second brain. First brain, second brain. So whatever happens in here influences here, and whatever happens here, all the chatter, influences down here. Does that make sense? So let's say you eat something or you do something and you're just completely, disgusted with yourself. And you're just like, why did I do that? I ate this brownie, or I didn't do an exercise, or something happened in traffic and I just totally put myself down. So when we have those kinds of communication in our brain, of course it's going to affect our gut. So you felt bad about it, right? After you did that, or after you ate that something, you felt really, really bad. Well, when you feel bad here, you're going to feel bad here. It's not a coincidence. It's your brain-gut axis working and doing its job. Because how is it not to process what's going on up here? You're literally going to feel it in every part of your body. So, what can we do to show our gut some love by literally just loving ourselves, by having this unconditional self-love all the time? And I say all the time, but it's literally impossible to have a consistent positive thought. I'm just being honest here, because we have a gajillion thoughts all the time, and we can't really control when that negative one pops in. It's gonna pop in. The only thing that we can do is help it to dissipate, and remind ourselves that that we are love and we are energy beings. And so like I said, just loving yourself from head to toe. Hi Beth, welcome. We're talking about the gut and loving it from head to toe. Okay, so the best tip that I have here, and this is a personal, from my personal journey, as well as I read it on the Google webs. And that is learning to listen to our body. It may seem really far-fetched, and I listen to my body all the time. I know my body so well because we are living in our body. But there's oftentimes our bodies are communicating and we're not listening. We think we're listening, but we're actually not. So, and like I said, you can't, did you even know that you can't have a thought without it resonating somewhere in your body? Do you feel that? If you're thinking, if you just close your eyes for a second and you think about sitting by a really warm, beautiful fireplace or a fire pit, and you're snuggled up with a blanket because it's a nice cold winter night. Maybe you're sipping hot chocolate, maybe you're sipping hot tea, maybe you're surrounded by friends and family, maybe you're enjoying time by yourself. Feeling that in your body, where do you feel it? And not only where, but how does it make you feel? Probably feels a little calming, relaxing, maybe even put a smile on your face because you're just in a happy place, right? So that kind of thought and that kind of environment affects your body. So now if you were to think on the other end of the spectrum, notice when you're in a stressful situation. If you want to keep your eyes closed and envision yourself stuck in traffic, 10 minutes already late for work, and people are honking, people are getting angry, and you're frustrated with yourself because you could have left the house earlier, or now you're going to be late, so you're going to have everything else backed up, and all those kinds of kind of thoughts come into your brain. Where do you feel that? Maybe you feel a tightness in your chest, a tightness in your throat, maybe your stomach starts to hurt. So when we have these thoughts, it can definitely resonate in our body, and that's just proof that our gut brain axis is working. So when we learn to listen to our bodies, not just on an emotional level, but a physical level too, it makes a world of difference. And back when I went, gluten-free and dairy-free and sugar-free, changed my lifestyle, cold turkey, 360, within a day, everybody would ask me, what are you doing? You look so great. They want to know my secret. What's your secret to all of this stuff? Where's the magic pill, basically? And my best answer that I could give them was that I was listening. I was listening to my body. I was getting in tune and noticing where I was feeling emotions and where I was feeling, pretty much anything in my body, like anything that I was putting on or in or even thinking in my brain. I was noticing where those emotions were coming up in my body. So in doing this, you can learn to respond in a really self-nurturing way, and it might take some time, but once you understand what your body's asking for, you can give it exactly what it needs. So when we're talking about loving ourselves, and really just inviting love into our body and really helping our gut, because after all, our bodies are our homes, right? Like, you can't really escape your body. So by listening and learning and really understanding, we can in turn create this just beautiful, happy, healthy environment for our whole body. And that, of course, includes our gut. Because when our brain is happy, when our body's happy, like, our gut is happy. Like, I don't know if you ever noticed that. Maybe you're not paying attention, and that's okay. Like, this is why we have people, like me and other influencers of health that's like, hey, pay attention to your body. So in honor of Valentine's Day, I invite you to start today. Start paying attention, and it doesn't have to be an obsessive paying attention. And, sometimes people consider self-love and self-care to be selfish, but really it's not. Like, if you love yourself from the inside out, like, you are just filling your cup with all the love for you, and then everything that spills over is for everybody else. So really, like, you've heard the term, you can't pour from an empty cup. You can't give if you're empty. So by loving ourselves and telling ourselves, like, you can start in your brain, telling yourselves that you love yourself until you believe it. Look in the mirror and tell yourself, I love you, until you believe it. That will help your body get into this place of peace and calm, like I was talking about, a healthy, happy environment for your belly and for your mind and for your whole body. So, to recap, we discussed how the gut is important and what the gut actually is. All those microorganisms within our microbiome, in our digestive tract, and keeping them balanced, keeping the healthy flora and the unhealthy flora balanced so that it can do its job, so the digestive tract can produce those hormones that we need to function properly. And, remembering that even symptoms that aren't directly related to our gut could be a symptom of intolerance. So maybe you're finding yourself super hard to lose weight, or maybe you lost weight really quickly and you don't know why. There's something going on there. That is a sign. That is a symptom. Maybe you have extreme acne. Maybe you have rosacea. Maybe you, don't sleep at night. There's all these kinds of symptoms like we talked about that could be related to your gut. So I really hope that you found some value in this video today. And this is just one of 10. This is a 10-week series, and next week we are going to talk about self-love's sister, self-care, because like I said, they're very, very different, but both super, super important to your health, especially your gut health. So as we sign off here, like, drop a heart in the comments. Let's send some love to everybody here that's watching, whether live or on the replay. And again, I just invite you to go out there and show yourself some love. And thank you, Beth. I appreciate the support, girl. Hope you're doing well. So yeah, go out and show yourself some love, fill your cup up, and let everybody else in your life just feel that love too. So hope everyone has a fantastic Valentine's Day, and I will see you all next week. It will be on YouTube Live, so I will remember to put the link in this comments down there. I'll put the URL in there so that you know where to find me. And again, share, tag, spread the love, because as a coach, like, I really just am here to help, support, and guide those people that are struggling with their mental health, struggling with their physical health, connecting everything together so that they can live happy, long lives. All right, everyone, happy Friday, and I will talk to you all soon.